Staying in Taiwan, some 18 billion plastic bags are used annually, which when not recycled pose a serious threat to the environment and animals. Tzu Chi has long promoted recycling and reducing people's dependency on plastic goods. We now see how its recycling volunteers deal with plastic bags.
环保就是要清净在源头，
环保就是与地球共生息。
做环保，为着下代子孙好。
做环保，爱地球，大家做伙来。
What kind of fools would want to work 365 days a year without taking a break or any salary?
姐，这是什么材质？
这塑胶袋啊 PE， 这个 PE 花，啊这是 PE， 这是 PP 白，
这是 PP 花的圆的，会花纸。这个是 PE。
This part of a Tzu Chi recycling station specializes in sorting plastic bags. But with most of the volunteers being so old, how do they know which is which?
After you come here, you just learn by watching. There's really no need to study anything. You just look at what others are already doing. This is nothing special. This is just simple work.
So the seniors learn by doing and watching one another. However, there's a more scientific way to tell the different bags apart.
PE is semi-transparent, while PP is more transparent. So you can tell them through the difference in transparency. Also, when you pull on a PE bag, when it elongates, it makes this sound, while stretching a PP bag makes a different sound.
In order to recycle plastic bags, they have to be sorted properly. PE bags can be separated into colorless and colored bags, which the volunteers have nicknamed white PE and colored PE.
The transparent PE bags, when recycled, produce white pellets like these. The use of these pellets is very versatile because you can add different coloring agents to make all sorts of products. However, colored PE can only produce brown pellets like these, which has limited uses such as flower pots and such, basically items that won't come into contact with humans.
According to the Environmental Protection Administration, Taiwanese use some 18 billion plastic bags a year. If they are not properly recycled, they will be a serious threat to the environment. By Googling sea turtles and plastic bags, disturbing images come into view. In the sea, drifting plastic bags resemble swimming jellyfish, and sea turtles just cannot tell the difference. The indestructible plastic bags are then eaten by sea turtles, who believe them to be jellyfish.
地球上没有出现过这样子的一种材质，所以
Never was there a substance like plastic on this planet. Thus, there's no organisms that can help degrade the material naturally. When we build them, we rely on the sun's ultraviolet light to degrade the plastic. We can also physically break the bond between the molecules, which is called disintegration.
When plastic bags are not recycled, they end up in the incinerators, producing greenhouse gases that contribute to global warming. To reduce the usage of this virtually indestructible garbage, recycling is the best policy. This batch of plastic waste came from fruit vendors. To supply supermarkets and convenience stores with fresh cut fruits, a lot of plastic waste is produced, which has to be processed first upon arriving at Tzu Chi's recycling stations.
This is shrink wrap, which is elastic and can be stretched. There are strips of adhesive tape on it, which have to be removed as they're trash.
Once the adhesive tape and labels are removed, the waste is then rinsed with collected rainwater.
This is placed underneath the fruits, so 2 to 3 bags are brought back every day. Once we rinse them in water, they'll be clean. If you don't rinse them, they can only be treated as trash.
To save the plastic waste from such a fate, recycling volunteers take turn to wash it every day.
For the sake of the planet, we should all reuse our plastic goods. I learned this watching Da'ai TV. It spreads this message all the time.
See these plastic bags? If we clean them up, they won't cause pollution.
We have practiced purity at the source to save Earth. We have been doing this for years in our household.
After 20 years of recycling, regardless of the weather or how foul the bag smelled, recycling volunteers go about their business, sometimes taking a person one whole morning to just do the washing.
I made this pair of waterproof pants myself. I had them done just the day before. I also wear a waterproof apron. Otherwise, I was completely drenched last week after this and had to go home and change.
The washed plastic has to be left out to dry for a day.
We recycle this rack here. We have these hooks on the rack, which some others install for us, so we can hang the plastic out to dry.
The cleaned and dried bags are then compressed and packaged by a machine, so they can be recycled later.
Inside a recycling plant, the bags will be shredded first and then sent inside an oven so they can be reverted into pellets. The pellets then can be made into products.
Tzu Chi's recycling volunteers may not know the science behind their work or march in environmental protests, but they know that by having everyone do their part, we can all contribute to the planet.